Hey there everyone, this is Lord Butler back at you, and I'm still working on trying to do some other videos here for you. I haven't done any watch videos in a while, and I really need to. In fact, I want to do one of this specific one here sometime. Let me take this thing off here. I personally don't think Invicta gets much love in the watch world, and I think maybe me just saying the word Invicta probably made some people just want to turn this video off. And you know what? I'm totally cool with that. I just want to be real. And because, you know, I think people when it comes to watches, I think sometimes people tend, and I'm not trying to be, you know, disrespectful here, but I think people tend to get a little hoity-toity. They tend to get a little too, I don't know, maybe a little, I don't know, I can't find the word. I don't know, maybe they take themselves a little too seriously or something. Look, there's really expensive watches out there, all right? I mean, come on, Patek Philippe, Breitling, I mean, you know, really expensive watches out there. But I've always been someone who wanted to have a great quality watch for the price. And I am not only a firm believer, but I have proven many times over that you can get a watch that is literally a fraction of the price of those expensive, you know, those expensive watchmakers, and have just as good quality product. Now, I know those same people that probably have yet to turn off the video probably said, "You're out of your mind, Matt. You can't compare a Rolex to a Invicta, or you can't compare a Phobos, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, to a Patek Philippe or whatever. You just can't. You can't. Knock it off." Well, I'm not. So be nice to me. No, I'm not comparing. What I'm saying is you can have nice things on a budget. Now, I'm not talking about fakes. I can't stand fake watches. I can't stand a watch that it says it's something that it's not. I've gotten enough fake watches in the past just to see how bad they were, and instead of throwing them away, I probably should have done a video on them just so that I could show you how bad quality it is. I mean, I'd rather get something that's as good a quality, or at least pretty dang close to the quality, that's a totally different brand, okay? But I mean, it's just as good. I mean, let's be honest, these luxury watches, it's all about one thing, everyone. One thing. It's about the brand. It's about marketing. It's about branding. Branding's important. Branding's awesome. I got nothing wrong with branding, okay? Branding is awesome, okay? It's great. It's what makes a product good, in my opinion, because the product itself, you can sell the greatest product in the world. If you don't know how to market it, if you don't know how to bring it across to people, in my opinion, it doesn't really add to the value of it very much, because it's more than just a good product. Okay, why does some rice cost more than others? Okay, rice is rice in my opinion, and I'm not talking about, you know, rice that may be infused with, you know, I don't know, jasmine or saffron or whatever. I'm talking about just rice. But there's certain kinds of rice that are, yeah, they may be really good quality, but it's also all about the marketing too. Let's be honest. There are watches out there that are as good a quality as a Rolex for what it does, that you can get for a fraction of the price. Because fellas, come on, ladies, come on, I need some help here. What is the primary function of a watch? It's to tell the time, okay? I mean, you don't need to spend $1,500, whatever, dollars to get a watch that will do something you can literally buy a $10 digital watch to do. So here's my big question. Why do we get the nice watches? Okay, yeah, I've got a couple digitals, but I like the kind of, what I kind of feel like is like a sentient aliveness of a mechanical watch or of an analog watch. Like I say, I got a couple digitals, and they're cool, they're neat, they're futuristic and whatever. Although what's funny though, I found that maybe it's just the brands that I get, I found that the quartz analog watches that I've gotten actually keep better time than the digital quartz watches that I have, even though the functionality of those digital quartz watches might be awesome. And you know what? Now I'm thinking about it, I need to do a video on those sometime, because I love watches. I kind of want to do different things with this channel, but I love watches so much, so that's the point I'm trying to get across. But The main point I'm trying to get across is I'm not your guy that's going to be stuffy when it comes to watches. Okay, here's an Invicta. Hate it all you want, but I'm telling you right now, I checked this watch. I literally put it up against the time.gov. It's actually changed the website. I don't think it's time.gov anymore, but it's basically you being able to check what the time is, even, you know, basically the global time at any given moment in the earth. And, you know, you can find out what time it is to the second. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is a quartz Japanese movement watch. Okay, can you see that second hand there? That second hand is on par with the atomic clock in Boulder, Colorado. And I'm going to tell you right now, I spent about 40 bucks on this Invicta. What is this? This is a pro diver. Okay, it says right on here. I don't know if you can see it. Now, I thought this is kind of unusual because it's kind of weird. I tried to clean it off a little bit better. It's going to be really hard to see. But it says pro diver in smaller letters underneath that little wave thing there. It actually says Master of the Ocean. Now, I thought that was kind of unusual because I've seen the Master of the Ocean kind of series that Invicta has, and they're a lot different. In fact, I was a bit disappointed because a lot of their water resistance doesn't really go beyond 100. This is here, let me clean this off here so you can see it. This is 200 meters. This is literally the same exact type of water resistance as the 8926 OB or 8926 model pro divers that Invicta puts out, or even the, oh, dang it, I can't remember what the other quartz battery powered one is, because the 8926 and 8926 OB, they're automatics. Okay, they're mechanical automatic watches. Usually got a power reserve of like, I don't know, 45 hours or something. But then there's there's a quartz version that they have that's just very similar to this that runs on a battery. However, what's really unusual about this, I saw this, and you see the three lines there. It says professional, and then it shows what the water resistance is, and then it says water resistant. There's another model that's similar to this that actually has 4 lines, and it says quartz at the bottom. This doesn't, and I know for a fact this is a quartz. I'm not going to open it here, but I know for a fact that this is a quartz. I mean, come on, first of all, look how it's moving. Look at that second hand. Mechanical watches don't do that, okay? The only thing that's going to come close to doing that is like a Seiko Kinetic, which I got one of those too. I got a Seiko quartz Kinetic watch. It's freaking amazing. I've had it for 20 years. It was given to me by my dad about 20 years ago. It's my go-to watch. I kind of treat it like it's a Rolex Explorer with day date because it's that good. But I don't like wearing it too much just because, you know, I want it to last a long time. But anyway, back to this watch. I can't remember what the model number of the other one that's like this is, but I can't find this one anywhere else. I bought it online. I saw it in a jewelry store one time. So I don't know if this is more a European market quartz pro diver Invicta dive watch, because I can't find this anywhere else. And especially not with the whole distinction of a Master of the Ocean, because there is no other Master of the Ocean pro divers that I've ever seen being sold here in the United States. So my gut's telling me that this is like a European, maybe Japanese market. You guys tell me. List something in the comments to correct me or to inform me, because I want to know for sure, because I haven't been able to find this. Now, what's nice about it is you can see it says it's got trittonite. I'm going to tell you right now, this trittonite is good stuff, okay? Do not knock on it. This holds up almost as good as the Lumibrite, which is on my Seiko Kinetic. And Lumibrite, I don't know if you know about this, Lumibrite is literally the same type of thing. I've done research on it. Go do some Googling yourself. Lumibrite for Seiko is literally the same thing as Super Luminova that's used for Rolex. It's just a different name because it's obviously going to be a different name for the Swiss high-end watches, because the people that buy the Swiss high-end watches are going to, you know, they're going to be familiar with the names, and they don't want to buy something that's got a cheaper sounding watch quality, I guess, you know, detail of the watch. They're going to need to have something that's marketed specifically to the Swiss high-end market. But I need to tell you, Superluminova is the same as Lumibrite. Now, this is not Lumibrite. Like I say, it is Tritonite. And you can tell it's very similar to that other word that was used a long, long time ago in Rolex watches called tritium, which is the radioactive stuff. This, of course, is not radioactive. But this Tritonite, I'm telling you right now, I'm impressed with this Tritonite because it glows just as well. I kind of wish it did a little better on the round indices there, but it's ridiculously awesome on the pip over here. I may just need to put this up here just so that it's, you know, all lined up and everything. But the pip is, you know, is super bright. The hands are super bright. And when you really get down to it, isn't that all that matters for a dive watch? Because, I mean, you know you're going to have this, like, on your person. And as long as you have the orientation of knowing where it is on your wrist, you're going to be able to get an idea of what's going on with the hands. And that pip, of course, is going to be essential to where it is regarding the minutes so that you know how much time you have left if you're diving, okay? But the bottom line is this has really good illumination for a, come on guys, a 40, probably with taxes, $45 that I paid. And like I say, I think this is a, I don't want to say Chinese, but I mean, it's definitely, it's got to be European, Japanese market, because it's different than the other Pro Diver Rolex Submariner looking one that's a quartz powered one. That's not an automatic. This is different looking than it is, like I say, especially by the back, because the ones I've had in the past that are the quartz ones don't say Master of the Ocean. So I don't know where this is coming from with all the information it's got on the back. 200 meters water resistance, obviously screw down case back, Japanese movement. Now it does say right down here, it's kind of hard for you to see. Do you see where it says Flame Fusion Crystal? That's also gotten a lot of crap in the past. People have been like, oh, Flame Fusion, it's crappy. Forgive my little weird dumb voice there. Okay, now I don't know. It's you're not able to see it really with this. Here, I need to stop touching the crystal. Hold on a second. I'm gonna give it a really good polish with my shirt. The crystal as best as I can. So hopefully, look at that. That's much better. Okay, now you can't see it with regular like incandescent light. But in sunlight, it gives this weird kind of, you ever seen how like kind of the rainbow kind of whatever effect on water where maybe like there's been some oil in it and it gives that kind of like, you know, slick kind of rainbowish kind of thing? That's kind of what the crystal looks like in sunlight. And I have to admit, yeah, it is kind of annoying. Now, it doesn't take away my attention from being able to see what time it is. It's just a little bit of an annoyance. But what I'm told, what I understand is that is Flame Fusion, from what I understand, is a very thin, I don't know how many microns thin, layer of basically like sapphire crystal, but a really, almost kind of like, think of like a sapphire laminate, okay? And what they do is they put that on the crystal, but on the inside, so that way it doesn't get scratched on here, doesn't get scratched off. So it's inside the case, up against the crystal on the inside. Now, this is my thought. I think because that's where the placement is, that's probably why you get that weird kind of rainbow effect. I really wish I was able to get a picture of it so I could show you. I might do that before I light up the video, so I could show you something in the daytime. I just didn't want to get too long before I actually posted this video. But I think I might show you just so you get to see what I'm talking about, because you're probably wondering what in the world I'm talking about. But that's probably why they put that coating on the inside. And I will say that it actually is an AR coating. I think it's you know, obviously if it's sapphire like laminate, it's going to naturally be AR, anti-reflective, because you can look at this watch no matter where, even, let me see if I can get the light really reflecting off there. Okay, so obviously that's kind of hard to see, but the whole purpose is the light can shine, you can be where the light is, and you can still see what time it is. Now when it's out in the sun, I have yet to see, have a place where it's shining in the sun where I can't see what the time is. Okay, so look, again, 45 bucks watch. This is a screw down crown. This is really, really good. It's actually, see the little spring motion there, and it is a true screw down crown, so this is a true diving watch. Some people would probably say, well, I'd never put this up against an actual professional diving circumstances, even though it's called a pro diver. Guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, this has suited me well. No, I'm no diver, but this is a really nice watch. You can even see the little nick I have right there. Okay, so this is my like little James Bond, good looking, toughy little watch. It looks good. It gets the job done. Yeah, it's a quartz because you see how the second hand moves, and it does even have a little bit of that kind of springiness, which I'm not a fan of. But you know what? Come on, 45 bucks. Incredibly nice case. Even though it's thick enough for a diver, it's still very low profile. It's great. Now, here's the bracelet that came on. Really, really good bracelet. I love it. In fact, I just had it on here today, but I just thought I'd take it off because I wanted to break in my my RAF strap that I got. This is not a NATO. This is an RAF, in case anyone needs to know the difference. NATO strap is usually two pieces, and they're sewn together, and they'll usually have kind of metal, couple metal brackets that serve the same purpose as this does. But this is called an RAF strap, as in Royal Air Force. And it's nice because it's one piece, and it's just as functional and just as secure. If for some reason, the whole purpose of having one of these technically is so that you don't want to have a, sometimes I think people's bracelets would jangle and you don't want to make noise. And also the nice thing is, God forbid, if one of these spring bars pop off, it's going to stay on, even though it may be flopping around on one side or the other. It's going to stay on because it's, a strap. So I've had people say that, no, only the true NATOs will, it'll stay on. Well, look, guys, simple physics. If that spring bar pops off, if that stays on, this is still going to stay on. So it doesn't matter if it's one piece or two piece, doesn't matter. But it looks good. It is really a good looking watch. It's just great. I love it. Best $40, $45 watch I've ever bought in my life. It's amazing. Now this has always been a little hard to turn. Looks like it's not too hard. I really had to get it to where it's been this easy to turn. So it's not right out the box. You may, if you get one of these, it may not be easy to turn right out the box. You have to play with it. I actually thought about maybe trying to take the bezel off and seeing about, maybe loosening up the little spring thing that's actually inside, up against the crystal that goes between the crystal and the inner part of the bezel. But, so far so good. I mean, you just may have to work with yours. Nice thing I also really like about this is, I hope this light's not getting in the way of it. Oh boy, it's kind of hard to see. Dang it. Let's get this light off here, maybe, because it can make it easier. Yeah, it's a little better. But this quick set date is really nice. Check that out. Have you ever seen a quick set date? I mean, man, that is beautiful. I mean, that's what you want. That's what you're looking for, I mean, this is a simple watch. It's got, what, 4 complications? Second, minute, hour, and date, right? You can see it magnifies pretty darn well. You see how small the little window is? And it magnifies it. It does it like 1.5 times. No, it's not going to be the 2.5 times that is going to be accustomed to an actual Rolex Submariner, but it's 1.5 times. Bottom line is this. It works because look, I can hold it back over here, and I don't know if the light you can see it, but you can basically hold it down pretty easily and see that it says still the 14th on there. So, it does what a magnifier is supposed to do. You hold it farther away from you, you're still going to be able to see it. That's the purpose of a magnifier. So at any rate, I love this watch. This is a great watch. Usually people do all kinds of specs and whatever, measure it, but I'm just going to tell you right off the bat. And I don't include the crown when I do the measure. I measure at the roundest point to where there's no obstruction, not where it starts getting straight by the lugs or whatever. It's 40 millimeters. It's actually more like, I think it's like 39 and a half maybe, but it's your basic, you know, just rounded up to 40. Lug width between the lugs is 20. Okay. Lug length from lug to lug is 52. And what's funny about that is, if y'all have ever had a, what is it, the Casio Duro? Some people call it the Marlin. Totally different kind of watch. But the thing is, in fact, you know what? Hold on a second. I'm going to get it for you. I'm actually thinking about selling it because it was just a little too big on my wrist. Here is this Casio Duro. You can see it almost looks identical, the same type of watch. Typically, if, how can I say this? Typically, if you're going to get, like, say, a quartz, I think this is probably going to be like 50, 60 bucks elsewhere. Like I say, not this specific model, but more the American model one that I can't seem to find anywhere lately. Is going to be like 50, 60 bucks. This right here you can get for 45, like the same price I bought this one for. And you can tell it's considerably bigger case. It's bigger by about 4 millimeters. Here's the funny thing though. They both have the exact same lug length. So I just thought that was pretty hilarious. This actually sits on your wrist the same as this does. But here, I'm going to put it on and I'm going to show you, because I do have wrists that tend to be a tad on the effeminate side, a little smaller than I would like for them to be. And technically, look, does it look all that bad? No, my wife even told me, she's like, come on, Matt, you know, you don't want to sell this watch. It actually looks good on you. But it kind of gets in the way a little bit. It kind of gets in the way, even though it is a great looking watch, and you can see it doesn't have a magnifier. I've had people say that this watch is the poor man's Rolex Submariner. I'm actually going to challenge that. It's not. It is a poor man's Rolex Deep Sea, Rolex Sea Dweller Deep Sea. That's literally what it's like. Why? Check out the specs on Rolex.com for the Sea Dweller Deep Sea, not the regular Sea Dweller, because there's a regular Sea Dweller you can get that actually has the same dimensions as a Rolex Submariner. It's just that it has much more water resistance. I believe it starts going up to like, I forget how many meters, like, you know, 2,000 meters or something like that, and I think it's 6,000 or something like that for the deep sea. It goes like considerably deeper. That's that one that's also kind of known as the James Cameron. But there's a the way it's got the different kind of like a dark blue or whatever, ocean blue, and then it fades into black, and they did that on purpose to give an idea of how you're going in the ocean when you're going towards something like the Mariana Trench. It's going to go from little light in the water to no light. But anyway, I challenge you. See for yourself. This is not the poor man's Rolex, because this has the exact same dimensions as the Rolex Sea Dweller Deep Sea, the one that does not have the different face dial, color dial, but just all black, because this is 44 millimeters, just like that one Rolex watch is, and it has a date window that does not have a magnifier, just like this one does as well. So it's literally identical to that. This is identical to a Rolex Submariner. That's just how it is. So anyway, I just thought I'd kind of give you my little 2 cents worth on that, because I've heard people say, oh, the Casio Duro's the poor man's Submariner. Nope, it's the poor man's Sea Dweller Deep Sea, and it's great if you got the wrist that's big enough for that. Not me. Not on this thin-wristed guy. So at any rate, I just wanted to share this. I was actually going to be doing something else. I had some other stuff here, but you know what? It just turns out that maybe I ended up needing to do this, and I hope this helps some people out who are wanting to get an Invicta watch that looks good. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. There are times when you get an Invicta watch, especially at this price point. Sometimes you're going to get a good one, and sometimes you're not. Now, I'm not talking about the Swiss-made ones where it's going to be like the I forget what other series they have, like the Bolt and all this other stuff, and they're usually like massive watches. They're like 50, 52 millimeter width. They're just huge. I mean, it just, oh, it would just dwarf my arm. That's why I would never get something like that. But I heartily encourage anyone that wants a good, call it a knockaround watch. I don't care. This is a great watch. It will be worth the 30, 40, 45 bucks to get something that looks this good, keeps excellent time. Like I've said, I put this up against the time.gov, up against the to the second of the atomic clock of Boulder, Colorado. I have yet, since I got this in December, this is now at the time of this date of this video, it's February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. I got this, I want to say December 4th. It has yet to miss a second. Yet to miss a second since that time. So you tell me, you think that's a good quality watch? Again, what's the bottom line, number one requirement of any watch, no matter price point? Does it keep good time? I'd rather have this over a Rolex that has to get serviced on a regular basis, because I can afford this now. This can take the abuse because this is 316L. No, it's not going to be the 903, 904L, whatever that Rolex does. That's their own proprietary stuff. But still, there are luxury watches that use this 316L. There are Patek Philippe's, there are Breitlings, there are other watches, high-end watches that use that 316L. So, look, if it's not what you want, then that means that you are of a different caliber of watch collector, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But just comparing apples and oranges. But I'm just letting you know, this one little apple here is worth having, and it's worth considering. And it can look good on a strap, can look good on leather. I've had it on some leather. I've made some leather straps actually for it. So it's a good looking watch. So I'm going to stop saying that over and over again because I'm stating the obvious here. But you check it out for yourself. I'd love to hear what comments you might have about this. If you had any questions, anything that I didn't cover. I know maybe I could say normally it'd be, hey Matt, what's the plus minus seconds per month? Well, as of right now, like I said, since I've actually been using it, 0. So, I don't know. That's why I'm saying I'd be willing to put this up against any Rolex when it comes to telling time, because as far as I'm concerned, it hasn't lost a second yet. So, again, if you want to buy a $45 watch that does that well, don't you think that'd be worth the money? Just because it may not have the crown on there? I mean, I'm sorry. This is literally just as good. Anyway, I'm going to stop that. But you know what? I'm just going to stop the video here, and I will be doing some other stuff here. This is going to be a surprise for next time. I've been wanting to do a product review of some things from the Dollar Tree for a while, because I love the Dollar Tree. I am the budget guy. I love getting good quality stuff on a budget, but sometimes you have to weed through and get the bad stuff to find out what's bad, so that you can, sometimes it's a roll the dice. But there's great stuff out there, including watches for fraction of a price of what you normally would get a lot of other stuff out there. And I'm all about having really nice quality stuff for a fraction of the price. And I can't be the only one who thinks that way. And I'm hoping y'all are going to stay with me on that journey in doing those things in the future, because I'm going to be reviewing some other watches that I've gotten in the past that I still have, that I got for the very same reason, very, very similarly to getting this. And just, I want to tell you the specs, show you how great it's been working, tell you the amazing price I got it for, hopefully show you where you can get these things in the future. Little teaser here. It's eBay, real easy. It's all about being a savvy shopper and knowing how to find the right things. Some things you can find really good price on I don't know, Amazon, but eBay, you will find, I think, treasures you will not be able to find anywhere else. That's just my opinion. Those are the experiences I've had. So, until next time, totally change of topic of what I was planning on doing on this video, but it needed to be done. And I appreciate the time you stuck around to watch this. I hope this answered some questions. If it didn't, let me know. Put it in the comments, and I look forward to talking to you, doing another video, and hearing from you in the comments. And until next time, this is Lord Butler saying thank you so much, and until next time.